Hello, good morning. Welcome to our math workshop. Today we're going to keep on working on our Unit 7 fractions and decimals. And our teaching point for today is I can use the number line model to compare fractions. This means that today we're going to be using a number line to compare fractions that doesn't share the same denominator nor the same numerator. In our previous session, we had the opportunity to compare fractions with either the like denominator or like numerator, but this time they won't have anything to match. Today is Tuesday, May 26, 2020, and our lesson for today is titled Fractions on the Number Line. I recommend that you pause the video now and get to copy the date, lesson name, and teaching point in your notebook just before we get to continue. Alright? So we're going to begin by recapping our last lesson. Yesterday we learned two different cases to compare fractions. The first one, when we had different denominators and the same numerator, as in this case, the first thing that we do was making fraction bars to represent those fractions. So in the first one, we have three equal pieces, so we will have 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, right? Now, since we have only two selected pieces out of these three, right here we have this loop selecting two pieces from those thirds. Now, my second fraction right here have 2/5. So that means that I will have 5 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From those 5, I will also select 2 pieces. Now, if we take a look at this diagram, we can easily see that the greatest fraction is 2/3. Why is that? Because we have the same selection at the top, the same nominators. But if you take a look at the denominators and you think about sharing, so the more people you have to share to, the smaller those pieces will be. So that's the same that is happening in 2/5. Because in 2/3 we have less people to distribute to, so that means that the pieces of those distribution will be greater. So in the case that we have the same nominators and different denominator, the greater fraction would be that one with the smaller denominator, right? Because you have less people to give to. Right here we can see that 2/3 is actually greater than 2/5. Now in our second case, we have same denominators and different nominators. So in this case, we will have the same distribution, let's say in terms of the pieces, because each of them have 5 as a denominator. Now we have our distribution right here, 5 equal pieces. Now, if I represent my first one, 2/5, I have it right here. I selected 2/5. Now, if I use the same model, the same fraction bar, and I select 3/5, I can use the same drawing because basically we have the same pieces. So it's just using two different colors to select the two different nominators. You can see that 2/5 is actually included in 3/5. So that means that 3/5 is greater than 2/5 because 2/5 can fit into 3/5. It sounds like a tongue twister, but this visual way is actually really simple for us to see which one is the greater one. But basically, the rule that you need to follow is that if you have the same denominators, the greater fraction would be the one with the greater numerator, right? Same denominators, greater numerator will be your greater fraction. Now, jumping into our lesson for today, we're going to be talking about number lines, and we're going to be using them to compare fractions. Now, what is a number line? In math, a number line can be defined as a straight line with number places at equal intervals or segments along its length. As you can see right here, we have a different distribution that we can adapt with the numbers according to what we need to do. In this case, instead of having that many whole numbers, we're going to have fractions instead. Now, a number line can be extended infinitely in any direction, and is usually represented horizontally. That doesn't mean that we can have this number line in a vertical position, but we usually use it horizontally because it's easier for us to see. Now, so far we have been using fraction bars to represent a different distribution. As you can see right here, this whole square right here, rectangle actually, represents one whole. But this whole is divided into 4 equal pieces. And every segment, every piece represents 1/4, represents a unit fraction. Now, if we translate that into our number line, you're going to see that right here, we begin at 0. We got nothing in our numerator. In our first mark, our first stop, right here we will have 1/4, our first division segment, let's say. And that way we will continue to 4th, 3/4, and 4/4. Now, I want you to notice that as we increase to the right, what we're doing is basically adding unit fractions. If we add 1/4 plus 1/4, what do we get? 2/4, which is the addition of these two first pieces. And this is the end right here of those two. So we have 2/4. If we add another one, we have 3/4 and so on. Remember that when we have like denominators, we leave the denominator the same and only add the fraction. I mean the denominator at the top, right? Now I want you to take a look at these 3 number lines. I recommend that you pause the video now and get to find what they have in common, what do you notice, and look how different they are. I can see right here that they have whole numbers, but also they have fractions, but also they have mixed numbers, and also they have missing numbers. All right, so basically these 3 of them, even though they look pretty different, they actually have the same value. If you take a look, ranging from 0 all the way to 5, all right, we contain all of these numbers. Right here we can see that we have fractions, whole numbers, and mixed numbers. Right here we have 0 all the way to 5 as well. And right here 0 all the way to 5 as well. So what we have right here is basically different distributions. As you can see right here, the spaces on this one are greater than the spaces on this case and than the spaces on this one. They still are pretty well aligned in their range. In the first case, our division is by 1/2. You can see that every piece inside 1 is worth 1/2. 1/2 and 2/2. If we have 2/2, then we have a whole. However, in this second case, we have a distribution of 4. You can see it because our denominator is 4. So you are going to see that we have 4 equal pieces inside. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If we add those 4 unit fractions, as you can see right here, we're going to reach 4/4 that is equal to 1. The same way we have in this case 8, right? So that means that inside 0 and 1, we will have 8 equal distribution. That means 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, and so on. We have 8 equal spaces inside. That's really important, guys. When you select the scale that you're trying, let's say the size of the spaces, you need to consider that they have the same space between them. If your separation is 1/2, they should be the same length on this side and the same length on this one, because you're saying that each one of them is 1/2, so that means that they should have the same length. So you might wonder what this letter right here represent. Now, in a further exercise in your independent work, you're going to be finding out what this value represent, right? If we take a look at the first one, let's take a look at the progression that we have. We have 0, 1/2, 1, and 1, and a half, 2, 2 and a half, 3, 3 and a half, 4. So if we continue this trend, we are supposed to have 4 and a half, because our separations right here are about a half. So if I add this half right here to the 4 that I had, I will have 4 half. All right? The same way we're going to do for the remaining ones. I recommend that you pay close attention to the fractions and how they're being added. This is crucial for you to complete this activity successfully. Now, if we try to compare, for example, 3/4 to 5 half, how would you try that? Because they don't have the same denominator. They don't have the same numerator, so they're totally different. How can we compare that? Now, making use of this number line, we can easily compare. Now, if you take a look, the number or the fraction on the right, on the further side of the right, will be the greatest one, because as we move to the right, the numbers are increasing. We range from 0 all the way to 5. So using this visual representation in number lines, we're going to be targeting the different fractions that we want to compare. And right there, visually, we're going to see which one is greater. We have 3/4 right here, and we have 5 half on this one. So according to this number line, 5 half is greater. In 5th grade, you're going to be learning some different algorithm that will easily, or actually without the need of a number line, will allow you to do this. But right here in 4th grade, we're going to keep on working with our number line and the previous way that we have learned before. Now, what about mixed numbers? If I compare mixed numbers, same thing. I get to identify my two mixed numbers, for example, 1 and 4/8 compared to 3 and a half. So I can see that 3 and a half is actually on the further side of the right side of the number line compared to 1 and 4/8. All right, something else. This case might be a little bit easier because, as you can see, the whole number right here is 1 and the whole number right here is 3. So that means that right there you can see that on the first one, on the one on the top, 3 and a half, you have 2 more holes in advantage than the one that is behind, 1 and 4/8. So in this case, might be a little bit intuitive to identify this one, right? So what I recommend is that you take a look at the two fractions, you get to circle them, and the one on the right will be the greater one. All right, guys. So now we're ready to work on our Thin Central assignment. Please sign in and click on Tuesday, May 26, 2020 assignment. Right there, you will have about 10 exercises where you're going to be practicing what we just learned today. That's it for today, guys. So hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.